Good morning, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. How's it hanging? Who we got in here? Fishy, Stefan, Brian, King, Jam, Pac-Man, EM, Berto, Matthew, J, Cameron, Notorious, Martyrian, Literally You, Dusty, Zorro, Hermes, Warrior, Saints. What's up, everybody? How's it going? Hopefully those intro screens are still doing well. And if I don't know if anyone saw clicking on this, we now got some custom art for the stream thumbnails. I think it's kind of cool. That doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, but I think it's cool. What's up, folks? Welcome in. Thank you for tuning in. Shocker, we're back with some Division 2. Just get my mic adjusted there. Zorro's hungover. You might be the first person hungover to watch one of my streams. I don't know that for a fact. That's funny. I saw some questions about the recruiter outfit. Yes, they made a post about it, and there's a thing when you log on to the game. It's not in the bundles section. That's still this one. But if you go to apparel outfits and you go way down here under store exclusives, it now has its own section right here. So, someone asked me about the price. I can't see the price, unfortunately, because I got it the first time around. But maybe if somebody has not gotten it yet, you can check here and let us know how much it is. I'm not sure. They don't say in the store or on the. They didn't say on Twitter either. So I do not know about that part. I would guess it's the same price, but I don't know. But yeah, and I assume this shouldn't go out of availability. I think this will just now be in the store, if you want it. Unfortunately, no, Hermes, it's not Minecraft. I'm sorry to disappoint, man. Sorry to disappoint. Already got 90 people in the stream. Thank you all so much for being here. We're going to, as the title says, I have some builds that I want to check out, both in relation to the new season. We might get going with some Shade Exposed stuff too. I kind of wanted to do Descent and get the calm. I don't know. So many things. So many things, so many things. What's up, Byron Rodricks? Great content, video pacing. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. I put a lot of thought into the pacing and the delivery, so thank you for saying that. Mario said, random thought, I really hope they can pull off crossplay. Likely isn't going to happen in the Division 2, unfortunately, but I would say it's almost a certainty for Division 3. Saint said, I've been drunk in your streams. That's 50% of the way there. There you go. Good morning, LD. How you doing? Tweet says for a limited time. Okay, possible then. I think that's just, I want to say that's a copy and paste of what they said back in December when it first came available. So maybe it was unintended, but you're right. If they did say that, then it's possible that it will go back out. What do we think, folks? I really do want to run Descent to get that calm. I mean, I could do it off stream. I'm being kind of lazy. But there are some builds that I want to check out. So I've gotten a lot of requests to make a Breaking Point build. That's obviously the new gear set that we got with Year 6 Season 1. And this is the best that I've come up with so far. Now, if Postman ends up in here, this is actually one that me and him were talking about. And it's not bad. My issues with and I think if I end up making a video on this, I kind of want to point all this out, but my issues with Breaking Point is that it actually has like a few various good buffs and parts of it, but they all benefit different archetypes of weapons, in my opinion. So for example, on the 3-piece, you get the 30% headshot damage. That's a good buff, but that really mostly benefits marksman rifles. Whereas if you want to use this as a rifle set, headshot damage doesn't hurt, but it would make a lot more sense for it to have crit damage on the 3-piece. Then when you get to the 4-piece, the part where it stacks with your magazine size, the amount of total stacks you can get matches your magazine size. That's great, because that then incentivizes you to run rifles that have a higher mag size. But then the timer running out and refilling your magazine, that much more benefits lower mag rifles like an 1886, or the Diamondback is the same variant. So that's kind of my problem with this set, is that it has a lot of individual good bonuses, but none of them really complement each other as well as they could. And that leads to it being a little hard to build with. The best rifle that I've found so far that takes advantage of the most of this is the Ravenous. Because, especially when I'm using one piece of the new brand set, the mag goes up to 70. So 70 times 4, which I did the math yesterday, is something that's at least decent. You could also use the backpack and get 6%, and then you lose the 20% base rifle damage, but you get 2% more per stack. There's a lot of math involved there. But yeah. So we'll give this a roll. Zoro said, what about the recruiter? About the bloody red, now I have another chance. There you go. Yeah, I mean, it's nice to, when they give people additional chances when they want to get that stuff. Liverpool said, is it worth returning to the game? I did get bored years ago. I guess I would ask you what made you bored to begin with? Because your answer to that will probably determine my recommendation on if you should come back or not. Nolan said, just want to drop in with a quick hello. Hey, man. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing all right. It's been a rough week, not gonna lie, covering this game. But as always, we're gonna pull through. There's gonna be more stuff happening, so it'll be good in the end. But I appreciate you saying that. Also, Jay, thank you for the kind words, man. Got 130 people in the stream now, so let's go test this thing out, and obviously we'll get chatting as we go. This is like become my new favorite test control point. Is New Venice up there? As someone who started the Division back in February this year, your videos and content is the best on YouTube. Thank you, Slade. That is very nice of you to say, man. And welcome, February of this year. I would love to be able to experience this entire franchise for the first time again, because obviously after you play it for so many years and so frequently, it's not quite the same as that first experience. So, really glad to be enjoying. Thank you for the kind endorsement. So yeah, then when I reload, it starts the huge damage period, and that's kind of when you can go off. I still just wish they had an accessibility feature where you could just hold the trigger and it would shoot rifles at their maximum RPM, because it does not feel good on a controller. I'm sure not on a mouse either, to spam the trigger as fast as you can. At least for me, my hands get tired quickly. So that's like one of my biggest downsides to rifles. It's not that they're not any more or less fun than other guns. They're just physically harder to use for me. So yeah, like the damage on this thing is not bad. We haven't even popped the damage buff yet. This is just base. Now we have the damage buff going. If I could hit that one. And so this thing, it puts in some work. Obviously, at the Ravenous, you're trying to build the full stacks to get the full advantage. I'm going to pop the damage. Now they should be coming out of here. Like, it's got good damage. It's just a matter of, is this really more worthwhile than some other sets? But I think I'll make a video on this, because a lot of people were asking me, like, what can you kind of come up with the new gear set? And I think this is a pretty fun setup, not gonna lie, as far as rifles go. That thumbnail looks dope. Hey, Gerard, thank you very much, man. Yeah, my plan is to have about 4 or 5 of those different ones that we can then kind of rotate through as the weeks go. I was kind of unhappy with the ones I was using before, so I wanted to do something a little more personalized. I'm gonna pop this. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Except I exposed myself a little too much there. So I thought they were gonna get caught on fire, honestly. And I see a bunch of chats coming in. Let me address those as soon as we clear this, guys. As per usual, I do my best to keep up with the chat scroll as we're playing, but feel free to resend stuff if I miss anything.
Detected. Nearby location. Wanted by hostiles.
Like, you know, I think this is pretty fun. And it's obviously doing a lot of damage. I was using this in Countdown, just like absolutely spamming the trigger at everything. It was pretty fun. Rodrigo, you know I don't take cover. You know that's not my style. So yeah, that's what we got going there. Okay, let me scroll up a little bit. I'm so sorry. I missed so many things here.
Supply room access unlocked.
Sean was asking about the crafting bug. A lot of people seem to... I'm not saying this about you, Sean. I'm just saying in general. A lot of people seem to take my video that I made on that out of context. People saying that I was trying to scare everyone into saying they were going to get banned. I very clearly said in that video, I do not know if this will get you banned, but similar things have gotten people banned in the past. So I simply wanted to pass along caution and say, think about that consideration before you do it, because some people seem to be doing it without any consideration whatsoever. I agree with a lot of people's takes that because it's happening with new players, and this is like an update focused around, you know, new people coming into the 30 to 40 experience, it would be a very tricky situation for them to try and determine who rightfully would get rolled back or banned there. So if I had to put $5 down on it, I would say they probably won't do any kind of bans or rollbacks or any kind of repercussions there. But to say that it's completely safe and there's zero chance of anything happening, I think is also somewhat naive, personally. Godly, what's up? Just want to say thank you for getting me more info on the Division 2. Got my friend hooked on it. Hey, that's awesome, man. And you're very welcome. Thank you so much for tuning into the news. That's what I love doing. Liverpool said just found the content dead. Well, you know, they've added certainly a lot more stuff in the last few years. There's back in year 2 is when they added the second raid, and we got the Summit game mode way over here. Since then, they've added the Countdown game mode, the Descent game mode. They've added incursions from Division 1. We have Paradise Lost. They added 2 new legendary missions. There are a bunch of seasons here worth of rewards and missions to go through. So yeah, I mean, if you simply want more stuff to do, there is more now than there was then, for sure. How's the new event? Kuya, we haven't played through SHD yet. I did do a video on it from last season. If you're interested in checking that out, it kind of goes over what the changes made to it were. Nolan said this week was pretty shitty for Division fans indeed, and yet still constantly returning to your posts and live streams. You're literally the feel-good buff for the franchise. Well, that is a very kind thing of you to say, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, you know, a lot of people out there... Okay, it seems like I mostly caught up on things there. Hey, what's up, Jay Bernie? How you doing, man? Everlasting, good to see you. Andrew, what's up? Yeah, you know, a lot of people... Did I already claim the chest here? I'm totally spacing out. If you go across various social media feeds or platforms for this franchise this week, a lot of people had a lot of things to say about myself personally. And, you know, my coverage of, like, seasonal characters and some of that stuff that happened. At the end of the day, a lot of people like to spew up a lot of conspiracy theories about whatever. I just don't enjoy living my life full of contention and hatred for things. If I have a lot of mean things to say, I'm probably just not going to engage with it because I don't care to put that energy into my life. So I think a lot of you who watch me know that I point out things that I don't like when I don't like them, and otherwise I'm just kind of there for the flow. I enjoy what I enjoy. So I appreciate all of you that tune in for that kind of stuff. And we'll keep doing what we do. All right. I say let's go try that out at another one. Why not? No, that's probably not what I want to do. We'll do this guy. Get a bit more of a feel for this. So I don't know. What were your guys' thoughts on that build from that demonstration there? This is a good thing to point out, actually. Wolf was talking about any word on the control point bug. Yes, that is on Trello. It's going to be, the fix is going to be coming with TU 21.1, and that should be coming a week from today. They pretty much always do the 0.1 patches when the apparel events go live for the season, and so that is coming next Tuesday. So I would give it a 98% confidence level that a week from today we will be getting TU 21.1, and that'll bring the control point thing. That'll bring, I'm trying to think what else is on the board. Probably that's when they'll fix the crafting deal. So yeah. Bam. I love that when you shoot them, they just fly back. That ragdoll. He just RPG'd himself. That was crazy.
Incoming hostiles detected.
Bam. Yeah, and as always, Wolf, like, nothing's confirmed until it's confirmed. I don't want to say that 221.1 is for sure next Tuesday because we've not heard, but they're usually pretty quick with some of those first patches. So that's what I'm personally expecting. Brain Damage with the $5 super chat. Thank you so much, man. Just coffee with a smiley face. Fun fact, I don't think I've ever said this because why would I? I don't drink coffee, so my energy for the morning is the fact that you're being so generous, man. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it greatly. Saint said your video represents your personal opinions on the game. I don't get hitting on someone for giving their opinions on something they enjoy. Yeah, I mean, what it comes down to, and this is not a thing exclusive to the Division, this is across gaming, there is a huge amount of, is stigma the right word? There's a lot of people out there who just do not like content creators. They think that they negatively influence the games in directions that don't actually benefit the average player. And that's not to say that I don't understand their point. Like, there are certainly times when, yes, content creators tend to be more hardcore, and that often does not, the viewpoints of hardcore players don't often align completely with what, if casual players had their exact say on how the game would be, it probably wouldn't be the exact same way. My thing that, you know, a lot of people don't believe is true, and there's nothing I can do or say to convince them otherwise, but a lot of people, evident in the comments last week, think that I purely base my viewpoints and opinions off of what benefits me most as a content creator. And again, I understand why they would think that, and I'm sure there is a level of unconscious bias that I have that does skew that way, absolutely. But ever since I made this channel, and it remains true to this day, the conscious viewpoints that I put forward in anything I talk about is purely based off of what would I enjoy most as a player. That's always my first thought. Content to me comes second. I continue playing this game because I enjoy playing it. And so as a player, what kind of things would I want to see? How do I feel about whatever new gear, systems, whatever? That's always my first and foremost thought. And the same is true with everything that we've been talking about in this last week. So that's all I can say is that's how I view it. People are gonna have their own opinions and take it differently as always, but that is their prerogative. It's everyone's entitled to their opinions. What's bugged about control points? There's a thing, Hawk, where when you if you claim a bunch of friendly ones and you want to leave them friendly, if you sign out and come back, they will then be like retaken as hostile. So there's an issue with friendly control point persistence. Now we got the damage buff active. Ow. But yeah, regarding the whole seasonal character thing, I mean, obviously I'm looking forward to them dropping that additional information and communication they've talked about. I assume that's still going to come sometime this week, but we'll see. You know, at the end of the day, I don't think they're going to say anything that's going to negate the fact that, yes, main characters are getting more sideline, and that's something that a lot of people are simply not a fan of, and that's completely fine, and I understand that. I'm not, you know, I even said in my videos, I'm not 100% a fan of main characters, like, getting more sideline. Like, at the end of the day, a looter shooter is about investment into builds, loot progression, and that all centers around our main characters, you know? But, for me, it's the fact that the trade-offs are things like, you know, actual progression and things to do each season, a greater handle on balancing. At least the premise of those things sound enticing enough to be a worthy trade-off. But as always, and as I've said a bajillion times, we need to see it in action. We need to see more evidence, more information, more gameplay to really get a sense. Rodrix, thank you for tuning in, man. I appreciate it. Have a great rest of your day, dude. You think there'll be any penalties for anyone who's used the crafting table to craft god rolls? I do not know, and that's what I said in my video, is that I do not know, and I don't want to pretend like I do know. I simply wanted to pass along the fact that there have been similar issues in the past that have received those sorts of things, so I think to assume that there is a 0% chance that they would do something about it is not the smartest move. If I had to put $5 down on it, I don't think they will this time, because of how many new people have inadvertently done this, because they advertise for everybody to make new characters this update. Like, that would be very tricky for them to try and figure out, you know, is it just people who've had the game for a long time that get some kind of rollback? Is it everybody? And then you make a lot of new players mad that they, you know, why did I just spend time on this game I just bought? So I don't think they will. But as I said, to 100% assume that nothing is going to happen, I don't think is very smart. Oh, there we go. I thought there was going to be another wave. So yeah, I'm enjoying this build. I think I'll make a video on it and talk about Breaking Point as a whole. Oh, my bad, Satanta. I totally did forget to put it in Discord. I'm sorry. Eventually, what Mallory and I talked about is having a stream notification channel in there, like a dedicated channel for that, so that if people want the notifications, they can like specifically subscribe to that channel, and then it would notify you anytime I post in it. So we need to get that going, but I did forget to put it there. My bad. Great Neighbor said, seasonal sounds really fun. I've been making mules over and over to level up proficiency, and it's quite a fun thing to do time to time. Yeah, and for me, the biggest thing is that we don't know what the progression is going to look like. Everybody's saying that, you know, they're asking us to make mules for the 1000th time, and people have been doing it a lot. But they said very clearly it's going to be an accelerated progression track, and it's going to be a list of objectives that guide you around the game's content. So until we actually see what that looks like, I just think it's very hard to compare and use the case of whether that's going to be exciting or boring. Either way. Okay. So that's this build. The other one that I've been working on is a little guy for PvP. And it's this. Oops. Do I have this all saved? Okay, I do. It's this bad boy right here. Now, the reason this thing is very fun is they've been adding a lot of just very powerful sniper stats on these pieces. Hotshot that we got in Season 11 gives you 30% damage, 30% headshot damage. The new Breaking Point gives you 25 damage, 30 damage. And then Habsburg, which got added, a few updates ago, gets 15 headshot damage and 20 marksman rifle damage. So put that all in combination with the Ninja Bike, I can one-shot the vast majority of players in PvP if I hit a headshot. And so that's what we're working on here. The piece I need is a better chest piece, because Habsburg, for whatever reason, comes with armor. And so I want to get one that is... I would like to have an option that's unbreakable and glass cannon that I can then have headshot damage and crit chance on. So I think we're going to run some countdown and do that, and then we can test this build out. Because it's already very strong, so I think with even more stats, it's probably going to be even better. So yeah, let's run a few countdowns and see if we can grab that piece. Set this to Habsburg. We'll try that out. And then if we finish that up, maybe we'll run some global events and we can get people from the stream in or something like that.
Invite to another agent's group. Receive. You have joined a group.
Okay, let me go back up here. Emmanuel, what's up? Oh, Vitor also said, what do you think of Star Wars Outlaws? I think it looks plenty fun. I mean, single player, like narrative games are not like my biggest jam. But I'm totally going to try it out, primarily because it is, you know, the Division team's next game. But I think it looks plenty fun. Definitely. Saint said, you can tell left from the game from the effort you put into your content. Thank you. I'm not a hardcore player, but I still enjoy hearing your opinion and guidance on the game. Criticism is okay if it's constructive. 100%. And I hope this comes across, I never try and, like, peddle that the hardcore perspective is the only one that the game should take into consideration. Of course, sometimes that's going to be my personal preference because that's how I am with the game. But I totally recognize and value the fact that you need casual players to sustain a game like this. It can't just be a more niche hardcore community and have the kind of reach and content that it's going to have, you know? So. So that's the problem, Hawk, is that I have not found another rifle that I think works quite as well as the Ravenous with it. Like, that's kind of the problem with the set. So in the video, I plan to, like, make it half a build video and half a video talking about why I think Breaking Point has some shortcomings. But if you have a recommendation, certainly let me know. But we tested a lot on the stream last week, and I didn't really... It's tough, because the Ravenous is so good because it gives you all those bonus things, like the bonus armor and the damage and all that. So it kind of makes up for some of the other shortcomings, and that's why it works. But I don't know. We'll see. Matt Kane, what up, dude? Greetings from OBX. That's cool that you're from there. What up, what up? Is the Value Bundle DLC worth it? Value Bundle DLC. You might have to elaborate on what you mean. I'm not, by name alone, I'm not sure what that is. Are you talking just about Warlords of New York, or is there like some special bundle? Should I be selling bad gear or donating deconstructing? It's a good question, Frick. Are you at level 40? Is my first question. Are you at the end game? What up, Eric? I made a hardcore character this past Friday. Nice. A lot of people enjoy doing hardcore a lot. For me, it's too stressful. That's why I don't play games like Dark Souls or anything like that, is that just stresses me out way too much with how intense those things are. But I love that people enjoy that stuff, so hope you're having fun with it.
You're closing in on the target.
The Rav and the EB are the only exotics I don't have despite doing the raid so many times, just got crap luck. I feel you, man, it's tough. What's funny is that I've actually, despite doing Paradise Lost a good number of times, I've actually never had the Ouroboros drop for me. The only reason I got it was because of Kozik, who's around here sometimes, very generously gave me a second drop that he got. But I even ran it the other day, and I've still never had the Ouroboros dropped for me, so I know the feeling. I did better the stream last week. Oh, no, you're good, Hawk. You're totally good. Oops, just smacked my mic. Yeah, no. And that's what's tough. Obviously, like, completely, I had the same thought. Like, I should try and find something that's not the Ravenous to show. But that's kind of the problem, is that I haven't really found one that quite works as well as it does. But I plan to totally address that in the video, for sure. How to unlock Master? Jason, if you mean Master difficulty, that's not coming into the game until next season. Wow, that was just me shooting that guy. I do have the close range damage buff, I should recognize. But that was kind of crazy. Yeah, Master difficulty is not coming in the game until it'll probably be around December, because the season launches in October. Then we gotta wait till the climax mission, so yeah, we've got another 6 months or so until Master difficulty will be here.
Area secure.
Lido, what's up, man? As I say, you're never late, my guy. No one's ever late. If you make it, I appreciate it. Good to see you. Oh, just on vacation, family reunion. All 18 of us in one house. Nice, dude. That's fun. In OBX, though, it's a good vacay spot. Level 30, gonna grab the Ultimate Edition today, though. Well, one thing to keep in mind, Frick, if you don't want to pay, the big change they made with this update, and I'm gonna have a video out on this in the next 2 days, probably. They made it so that Warlords of New York is no longer required to get to the endgame. You can now level from 30 to 40 in DC and access all of the endgame content. The only thing that Warlords will still give you is obviously you get that additional map for the game, you get the story that's there, and you get the skills that some of those rogue agents unlock. But if you just want to play the endgame and join up with the rest of the Division 2's community, you do not have to buy Warlords. So just keep that in mind. But as far as selling and deconstructing and all that, for the most part, I recommend deconstructing. I do sell stuff occasionally if I need stuff. Sometimes, hey, casual play and Countdown here says, "What's up, Rogue? What's up, man?" Do I still have my chat turned on? Hey. There we go. I occasionally sell stuff if I'm low, but more often than not, I'll use like the Shade Watch bonus. So most of the time, I recommend deconstructing. Once you get to 40 and you have access to the expertise level, then donating for expertise is what I do with the majority of gear I don't need. But that you'll get to that later, so don't worry about that now. But New York map is locked for owners of Wony. Yes. No, Wony is still, it's still an expansion. You still get more stuff if you own it. But you no longer, if you just want to, even if you just want to experience the end game, you can go back and do Warlords, I think, once you hit 40. If you want to go and do that, and just play the story. So it's no longer required. That's the big change.
Data transfer halted. Incoming.
By the way, I saw some, okay. Okay, Val was talking about the value bundle. Gotcha, that one. Right. You said, is it worth it? I would say that totally depends on you. If you think the outfit in there looks really sick, then it certainly doesn't hurt. The skips are, like, unnecessary in my opinion. Even if you play the game, like, an hour a day for the full season, you'll probably find a way to finish the pass. Like, you don't really need those 27 skips. But if you want extra premium credits, if you think the outfit looks cool, then sure. Otherwise, I'd say you're fine just getting the regular thing. Alright, a lot of cherished so far, but no regular Habsburg chess pieces yet. What about the skills you get from New York Manhunter? Those obtainable will be locked out. To my knowledge, those stay exclusive. So yeah, the decoy, the trap, and the sticky bomb will stay exclusive to Warlords.
Agent, you've reached the turbine. I need you to fix the power grid.
The FBI said, "Hey man, how's it going?" Gulp. Just kidding. What's up?
You're in. We need to switch the power over to the new grid.
By the way, is Felix in here? Because when I was starting up the stream, before I had hit live and like synced up my OBS and my YouTube, Felix just dropped a hello in the chat, and it kind of freaked me out because I'm like, no one should be able to access this stream yet, so I don't know how you're in here. I didn't say anything, but I just remember that now. If you're in here, Felix, I want to know your trickery. How did you do that? It was like a good 2 minutes before I even hit live.
You're gonna need to expose the transformers and remove any busted fuses.
Oh, here's a chest piece. Not what I need, though.
Accidental electrocution.
What the hell was that? I think the floor is electrified. Watch your step, Agent.
Redirect acceptance.
Alright, I'm just gonna start picking this stuff up. I don't want to sort through it already. We'll look at it afterwards. What are you doing up there, sir? Yeah, peek up. So. These methods are beyond my comprehension. I guess so. I did kind of, well, it didn't freak me out, but I was just like, what? How is somebody in here? What kind of rules are you looking for on that chest? Could it be possible to see the build? Yes, Rolf, let me show it off again once we're done with this run. It's not actually for the build I'm running. It's for a PvP build. But I will show you.
High risk target detected.
Ah. I have to remind myself every time I'm shooting that I have the close range damage buff. Because I'm like, whoa, this is so good.
Over to the new grid.
And it is, but I'm also getting way more damage than normal.
Evacuate. 5 minutes to lock down.
How's matchmaking for one after the one endgame? I can't say I've tried enough things to really gauge. And to be fair, it's only been a week. I mean, that'll be more of a gradual improvement, I would imagine. Is that the more people that come back to the game over time, obviously they'll all have access to the end game, so. Is it possible to do well in PvP without a maxed out watch level? 100%. Most important reason being is that in Conflict, which is the game's dedicated PvP playlist, they remove your watch level bonuses as well as your expertise bonuses. So in Conflict, the only things that matter and that apply are your skills as a player, obviously, and your build and the roles you have on there. That's all that matters. Watch levels get removed when you're in Conflict. And that makes it way more of an even playing field while still respecting your build choices and the roles there, which I'm a big fan of.
Stable.
So yeah. Pop the damage buff. Not that I need it when these guys are dropping like flies. Oh, it's over anyway.
Nice. The plant's secure. Now let's get you out of there. Move to the extraction point.
I feel like the electricity is getting
Get on the
progressively
flare so
louder
Warren
here.
knows you're ready to go.
I didn't know decoy and sticky bomb trap were exclusive to Wony. I mean, at least that's my assumption under the new change. I can't say that I've ran through it myself and tested it, but from what I know, I think that unless you buy and play Wony, you won't get those skills. But you don't need those to play the rest of the game, right? They're just additional build options. So it's not like you're going to be blocked out from anything by not having them. But yes, I'm pretty sure if you just buy, you know, if you just play Division 2 and never go to Woney, then I don't think you'll ever get those. You might get the EMP sticky from doing the Jupiter Manhunt. That might be the one exception. But as far as the rest, yeah, you wouldn't. Ow. What? Am I EMP'd? Why did my hive go down? Then you wouldn't get those. Flynn, what's up? How to keep yourself interested in the game after thousands of hours? Only got, oh, I've got thousands of hours myself, but I just can't seem to stay longer than an hour max. The answer I always give to that is that I simply, that's what I was going to say. I simply have not found another game that I enjoy playing as much as The Division. It all comes down to that. For me, video games are gameplay first. I mean, obviously, I love and enjoy story on stuff and all those things, but it's always gameplay first. And there's not another game that I've played that I enjoy playing and continue to enjoy playing as much as The Division. I do think another big part of it is that I'm big into PvP, and in my opinion, that has greater replayability value than PvE because every fight is different. And you're fighting different builds and different people and all of that. So, in my opinion, it's those two things. It's the fact that I'm a gameplay-first kind of gamer, and I just enjoy The Division's gameplay so much, and the fact that PvP has that inherent replayability factor. And so I was pretty lucky to choose a game to cover on YouTube that's the case for, because otherwise it wouldn't be a very enjoyable YouTube channel, would it? And that's always what I've said, and I do mean it. I don't think people believe me sometimes, but if there's ever a day where I no longer enjoy playing The Division, I'm not going to be making videos anymore. That's my rule for myself. But yeah, exactly what Satanta said is that I see people a lot who, like, it seems like they're forcing themselves to play. They feel like if they don't play, they're, like, doing the game or themselves a disservice or something. There's nothing wrong with taking breaks. There's not, like, I think people get the impression that I play 24/7. The majority of the times that I play nowadays, and partly this is due to my schedule, but the majority of the times I play are when I'm doing, like, specific things for videos. It's maybe only once a week where I have, like, a session that I'm just kind of playing for myself and for fun. So it's not like I grind the game 24/7. I have most of the stuff that this game has to offer in terms of, like, loot and rewards and all that. But yeah. And again, not to flip over this rock again, but that is one of the reasons why the idea of Seasons 2.0 does entice me. Yes, again, even though the idea of sidelining main characters is not great, it's not fun, the idea that every season there will be a rolling progression basis, there'll be stuff to chase, stuff to do, new gameplay to be achieved with these modifiers, that just sounds so much more fresh to me than what we have now. And again, that doesn't mean I don't understand people's criticisms. They're totally valid. That's just my viewpoint.
Let's get you home, Agent.
Alright, well, we got, I want to say, at least 4 or 5 chess pieces out of that, so hopefully one of them's good. We shall see. Pulsar, what's up? When I feel like I'm forcing, I just randomly answer calls for help. Yeah, that's what I love about Division 2 as well, is that, like I just snagged it up, is that it has, things like the shepherding system and other stuff that if you just want to relax and not grind something out, like, there's options for what you can do there. And, directly benefit other people, like with the shepherding system.
You did a great thing today, Agent. We take electricity for granted, but...
Admin Nova in the chat. What up, Nova? I hate it and I love it, but until I get my hands on it, I can't really comment on seasonal characters. And I think that's like the biggest thing is that are there some people out there right now who say they hate the idea who are not going to play once it launches? I'm sure. I'm sure there's a percentage of people who are just so opposed to that idea that they're not going to play. But I think for a lot of people who are negative leaning or more on the fence, if it works out, again, we haven't seen it, we don't have these extra details, but if it works out and the gameplay is way more fun and all that stuff, a lot of those people are still going to play. I mean, I've been with this franchise for 20... Why was I about to say 20-something years? That's so strange. My brain needs help. For 8 years, since the first game came out, and the amount of times that I've seen people say... I mean, the first dead game comments came in the summer of 2016 in 1.3. Like, the amount of controversies and dry periods and everything that I've seen with this game of people saying, it's not coming back, I'm done, blah, 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 and they come back anyway. Like... This, even though the backlash is pretty severe right now, and I've had a pretty rough week in terms of what people have said to me personally, it's gonna pull through. Like, we're gonna be just fine, and I truly believe that in my heart. Like, nothing is gonna happen. What jacket is your girl wearing? The Agent Yongja jacket, crossover from the novels. This is one of the characters in the Division Crossroads saga, and you get on the season pass. I love it. This is like my new go-to outfit. This thing is sick. So it's on, if you go here, it's at rank 99. You get the full outfit from 96 to 100. Wait, did they? Oh, shit. Well, they did, didn't they? At 10:30? Come on, guys. What are you doing to me? What are you doing? All right. Well, people, thank you very much. Who was that? Who was that? I still don't know how to say your name. Valtire? I'm probably saying that wrong. I'm so sorry. But thank you for shouting that out. They just put out the FAQ for seasonal characters on Twitter. Let me see if I can... Can I pull that up when I'm set up like this? Actually, I know how to do it. They just put out the FAQ for seasonal characters, so let's read through it together, shall we? Let me switch us to an intermission screen. You'll still hear me talk, right? Everyone can still hear me. Let me just pull this up so it doesn't look weird. Let me pull it up on my Xbox, and then we'll read through it together. Although this thing is lagging like a mother effer. It's on their website, right? The Division 2. And then I guess as soon as I end the stream later, I'm making a video. Dang, why do you gotta drop it at 10:15, devs? I mean, I love you for it. I love you're getting this stuff out, but don't you know my stream schedule? I'm totally kidding. Okay, we answer the most frequently asked questions about Seasons 2.0. Let's go. Oh, I haven't used the browser on here in a minute. All right, can y'all see this? Link to the FAQ. Good point, Hermes. Good point. I'll do that. Can y'all just give me a heads up, though, to make sure you can see this right on screen? Okay. Put it in here. Oh, I think, Hermes, I don't even see your message. I think YouTube auto blocks links that non-vetted accounts send, so I probably didn't even go through. But I've got it in there now, and I'll pin it, so if people want that, they can access it. Well, Dylan, this is on my Xbox. I was going to pull it up on my PC, but I'm a little nervous by switching the source. I feel like OBS might freak out at me. Okay. That's linked in the chat if you want it. Let's go over this, shall we? 13-minute read. Holy shit. All right, here we go. Contents: Wony expansion, seasonal and non-seasonal. Manhunt. Oh boy. Okay. This is gonna be a doozy. Oh god. All right, here we go. This is good. This is good. We have all this information. Agents, we have heard your concerns regarding the introduction of. Hold on. Can people still hear me? They can. Okay. Seasonal characters in the Division 2 with Seasons 2.0 later this year. We want to clarify how seasonal characters will impact your existing main characters and answer a few questions about Seasons 2.0. The main idea behind Seasons 2.0 is to break away from the current repetitive seasonal model by transforming the entire experience. With your main characters, we need to consider various progressions and power levels, making it nearly impossible to create a well-balanced experience that is enjoyable for all. Starting all players at level 1 ensures that we have a clear understanding of where they are at in their progression journey when faced with specific challenges. To put it simply, in order to craft challenges with precision, we need a fresh start. Additionally, seasonal resets bring another layer of excitement since the modifiers are phased out at the end of each season, giving us the freedom to impact gameplay far beyond what permanent mechanics would allow. We omitted one important detail from the Year 6 introduction. With the revamped seasonal progression, we will have the opportunity to bring your main character into the last 2 weeks of each season, known as the intermission. The intermission will allow you to revisit your main character with the new content and seasonal progression, using your current arsenal for experimentation, strategy, and dominance. At the start of the intermission, all rewards earned with the seasonal character, including shade levels, proficiency ranks, stash items, and collectibles, that's an important one, will be transferred to your main character. This transfer ensures that your main character will be more powerful than ever and prepared to tackle the season's climax, normal, or master difficulty, should you choose to experience the remainder of the season with your main agent. Get ready to see your favorites in a whole new way. All right. So the intermission period is when the mains, what did it say, 2 weeks? Yeah. The intermission period is when the mains will then have prominence again, because I don't think you can access your seasonal characters during that. Well, let's keep going. During this time, the seasonal characters will be added to your roster, giving you the option to play the season's climax with either the seasonal or your preferred main character. In Seasons 2.0, seasonal character progression is significantly sped up, allowing you to reach level 40 more quickly and gain shade levels at a faster rate. This progress will then be shared. This progress will be shared with your main character at the start of the intermission. Expertise upgrades will not be available for seasonal characters. So there you go. The expertise system does not apply to seasonal characters. Instead, the Shade Watch bonuses will be increased to account for the missing power coming from expertise. Proficiency can still be earned by seasonal characters and will be merged at the end of the season. Please note that proficiency does not impact the gameplay. Okay, so expertise is not a thing in the seasonal characters. However, by playing with the new gear and stuff, you can still earn proficiency, and that'll then apply to the main character when that transfers over at the intermission period. I can respect that. The Shade Watch bonuses are going to be increased as well, they said, as that to make up for some of those bonuses. Okay. Finally, as a seasonal character progresses to 40, they will not have to complete the entire campaign again. There we go. That's what I was saying this whole time. Instead, they will have the freedom to choose which content they experience without worrying about completing certain missions for specific unlocks. Okay. So when you start out as a fresh character, you can then go in and do, from what they're saying, whatever you want. And that's going to... So I wonder if, like, all content in the game is going to scale then with where you're at. Like, can I just go play Summit from level 1 to 40? Can I go do Kenley College from 1 to 40? That's kind of what it sounds like. But I think that's very good, to not force people to play the campaign in the same order over and over and over. That's certainly good. However, there's more to the upcoming changes than just transitioning to seasonal characters. We will share with you detailed information by hosting live Q&A sessions. Our PTS during various live streams in the coming months to guide you through these changes. Okay. So they're going to be doing live Q&As on top of the PTS. That's good. That's definitely a good thing. All right, let me take a drink of water. So that was a pretty good intro section. I'm already seeing in the chat some people saying that the intermission alleviates some of their worries. All right. My voice is going to be dead by the end of the day recording a video after this. Wony expansion. So now we get into the actual Q&A portion. Is Warlords of New York expansion now free for new players? Okay, we don't really care that much about the Wony stuff. Well, I guess we will. The Wony DLC continues to be paid content. The key change that comes with Wony in-game is that owning Wony is no longer a requirement to access 40, to get game modes and manhuts. Excuse me. What content remains locked behind the Wony expansion? Okay, skills, that's what we were just saying. Story missions in the New York map remain exclusive to the expansion. Playing Legacy Manhunt missions won't grant access to... So this was something I was actually curious about. Playing Legacy Manhunt missions won't grant access to skill variants for the... Okay, there you go. These skills are tied to the specific bosses in Wony, and they must unlock it that way. The only difference is the climax mission where defeating Fei Lao and earning the Achilles Pulse variant will be... Okay, cool. So that's good to know. You won't access any of the trap or EMP skills or the decoy unless you own Wony. So that's good to know. Will the New York map remain accessible for playing the Legacy Manhunt? Players without ownership of Wony will not be able to access the Legacy Manhunt mission set in New York. If they attempt to fast travel to the climax location, they'll receive an in-game notification. Interesting. So stuff like the Kelso Manhunt will be locked unless you own Wony. There you go. This is what we care about, though. Seasonal and non-seasonal characters. Will we be given extra stash space and or extra character slots? An additional character slot will be added to support Seasons 2.0 along with extra storage space. Dun, 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 dun. However, it is worth noting that no extra slots will be added for each individual season. So we'll get a 5th slot to begin with, but they won't be adding like a new one every single season. So I think what most people are going to want to do is probably just delete that 5th character after the season's over. That's probably what I'll do. But there you go. To start, you won't have to delete anything. But apparently, they do say, do I have my cursor? Extra storage space. I guess they're not going to detail it beyond that so far, but there you go. Do I need to delete a character when a new season starts when all my slots are occupied? As additional slots will not be provided for each season. You will need to choose which character to retain in your main roster. Starting with Year 6 Season 2, you can have up to 5 characters. For instance, if you have 4, you can utilize the slot. If you have 5 at the end, you will need to remove one. That makes sense. Okay. What is the point of keeping your main character if you can't use them for 90% of the future content coming to the game? This is a very important question that a lot of people wanted to know. We have taken measures to ensure that both seasonal and non-seasonal characters have meaningful roles and cool things to do in the game. The current model reinforces the way that a lot of players are using some characters as support for their main character at the account level. What? Hold on. The current model reinforces the way a lot of players are using some characters as support for their main character. So I assume they mean like running Wony Mule alts for the materials. I think that's what they're referencing there. Seasonal characters serve a similar purpose on top of facilitating an awesome experience in the season through manhunts and modifiers. Additionally, seasonal characters also contribute to the overall account progression, which is represented through the power level of the main character. The main character remains the foundation of the account, enabling players to take on challenges at the highest power and difficulty levels. Furthermore, upcoming DLCs will present a chance to take on challenges with your primary character and its corresponding power level. Additionally, only non-seasonal characters will have access to legacy manhunts. This, to me, that's a very important thing that they said right here, because this is a question I had myself. That sentence right there, I don't know why this thing is here. Oh God, come on. Don't do that. I'll just... Nope. Okay. Well, anyway, furthermore, upcoming DLC. So this means that when the Brooklyn DLC launches, you can do it with your main character day one. That's not going to be locked behind seasonal characters. So that's a very important detail right there. Will there be any new content for the main non-seasonal characters? Non-seasonal characters will continue to have access to the existing game content, including Wony and the upcoming DLC. There you go. Right now, there are no intentions to introduce another incursion or raid. Oh, interesting. I wonder if that just means for year 6. I mean, I just did a video the other day talking about how they were talking about year 7. So I wonder if that counts for that. I don't know. Right now, there are no intentions to introduce another incursion or raid. All right. There you have it. Will seasonal characters have access to their existing recal library? The recalibration library will be shared. There we go. Will be shared between seasonal and non-seasonal characters, the only exception being season-specific gear. So you do not have to refarm your library. When you go into a seasonal character, it'll have the same library that your main has. That's definitely a good change, or a good feature to have. During the season, you can transfer... Oh, I see. During the season, you can transfer season-specific gear talents to the library, which will then become accessible to your main at the beginning of the intermission. So that stuff will all continue to be shared. Will seasonal characters be able to use the account-wide resources material? Seasonal characters will have their own separate pool of shared resources and materials, which will not be shared with the non-seasonal character pool. That makes sense to me. You won't just have the huge thing to begin with. When I have all my inventory and stash maxed out, will I lose the loot after a season ends and the seasonal characters merged with my regular roster? There we go. That's a very important question. Once the season ends and the intermission begins, you'll be awarded a temporary stash to facilitate the transition of seasonal items to the main pool. It is up to you to decide what to keep and what to discard or deconstruct during that process. However, please note that starting from year 6, season 3, if you still have items in your temporary stash, you'll be unable to create a new seasonal character. Okay. So it's basically like a holding spot where you can then choose what you want to keep, what you want to donate, deconstruct, whatever. That makes sense to me. At the start, okay, how will my hardcore characters be impacted? At the start of each season, you will have the option to select either a hardcore or regular seasonal character. So you can do a hardcore seasonal character. That's cool. This choice provides the opportunity to add an additional hardcore character to your roster at the end of the season when the seasonal and main characters combine. Your existing hardcore character will retain its progression, which can be shared at the beginning of the intermission period, the final 2 weeks before the season concludes. So hardcore seasonal characters are indeed a thing. Will seasonal characters have access to global events? Global events as they are right now will remain exclusive to non-seasonal characters due to their incompatibility with seasonal progression and the modifiers in their current state. They will adhere to the established rotation model already present in the game. Seasonal characters may eventually receive their own version of global events tailored to enhance the seasonal experience, but this implementation will occur at a later time. Okay. So global events are going to continue to rotate for main characters if you want to log in and do that. But what they're saying is they don't gel with the new modifiers that they're working on. So that's not going to cross over. All right. Manhunt 2.0. I need another drink of water. I'm glad you guys are enjoying this, though. I guess we're just learning it all together. 250 people in here. Appreciate it. All right, one sec. All right. Manhunt 2.0. Will the new Master difficulty be in any way available for non-seasonal characters? Yes. Climax mission on Master difficulty will be available for both seasonal and non-seasonal during the intermission. A 2-week period between the seasons. Okay, we knew that. This is another big one that people wanted to know. Why tie the Manhunt to the seasonal characters' participation? In Seasons 2.0, the optimal way to experience the story is through the seasonal structure, utilizing a character with the appropriate power level to capitalize on features such as gameplay modifiers and seasonal items. The story will be adjusted to accommodate this new dynamic, with multiple agents fulfilling their roles throughout the season. The story will be adjusted to accommodate this new dynamic, with multiple agents fulfilling their roles throughout the season. So this, to me, sounds like they do have a lore explanation for why this is happening. The story will be adjusted to accommodate this new dynamic with multiple agents fulfilling their roles throughout the season. I guess we'll see what they mean by that. There you go. Gameverse, I don't know how you think I'm lying when I'm just reading their words. I'm simply reading the Q&A, my guy. You're welcome to have whatever opinion about it that you like, but right now I'm just reading. And then the last paragraph there. Moreover, after the season ends, players can opt for the climax mission using either their seasonal or primary character. Right, okay, we knew that. On to seasonal journey. Oh, okay, I got you, Verse. I got you. Sorry, I'm a bit on edge. I'm a bit defensive after the last week, but you're good. Okay, seasonal journey. What will Seasons 2.0 consist of? There are 15 weeks of varied activities such as seasonal missions. Wait, okay, this is important. There are 15 weeks of varied activities such as seasonal missions, seasonal projects, manhunt scouts, and priority objectives to be completed with your seasonal character, followed by a 2-week intermission period where you can utilize your main character. Your non-seasonal character can be accessed at any time during the season, but with no access to seasonal content except for the 2 weeks intermission. Okay. So seasonal missions, seasonal projects, manhunt scouts, and priority objectives. Still seems like we have no details on what those things are. But in theory, if there's like actual varied objectives and activities to do during the season, that sounds all right. Here we go. Approximately how long is the accelerated grind to level 40 expected to take? Here we go. Non-seasonal characters will require approximately 45 hours to complete, while seasonal characters are expected to take around 15 hours for the same activities. Let me do some math real quick. 45 divided by 15. So, I could have done that in my head. I'm actually really stupid. So they're saying it's 3 times as fast to level a seasonal character from level 1 to level 40 compared to a main character. And they said you don't have to do the campaign. You can do any content in any order that you want. So it's 15 hours of playing the game under new gameplay modifiers and circumstances to get to level 40. Frank, they answer that up here. Let me go back up here. Where was it? There we go. As a seasonal character progresses to level 40, they will not have to complete the entire campaign. Instead, they will have their freedom to choose which content they experience without worrying about completing certain missions for specific unlocks. So you can choose. It's roughly 15 hours of gameplay of whatever you want to get to level 40. That's what they're saying. Okay. Oh, I guess they're also going to talk about it right here. Will the seasonal grind to level 40 consist of the same current activities or will it be different each season? Here we go. To reach level 40, the seasonal journey will act as a guide, providing simple and quick challenges that offer great completion rewards, while also aiding the player through unlocking key game systems. Additionally, at every point, players can complete a variety of other activities in the game at an increased progression rate. Each season will feature unique seasonal modifiers that affect both players and enemy NPCs, providing a different experience to played content. So, yeah, essentially it sounds like the game might suggest or guide you to different things if you want to do that, but essentially you can do whatever you want to get to level 40. And there's no, like, set in stone structure that you have to follow. Will the seasonal story beats be introduced during the level 1 to 40 grind, or will players need to reach level 40 to experience them? The updated seasonal journey in your 6 Season 2 will allow players to experience the story irrespective of their level. In other words, new story content is not locked behind level 40 characters. Okay. So you can just, in theory, you could just start a seasonal character and do 15 weeks of the scout content without leveling up. All right. Will players have to reach level 40 to start earning or start collecting season rewards? Seasonal rewards are not restricted to level 40. Various rewards unlocked through the Seasonal Journey Season Pass and other in-game systems are granted while leveling from 1 to 40. The Manhunt story will also gradually unfold through collectibles, allowing players to progress step by step. So you start earning your Season Pass at level 1. So that's solid. What happens with seasonal collectibles? During the intermission period, which occurs in the final 2 weeks, all rewards obtained by the seasonal characters, such as shade levels, proficiency ranks, stash items, and collectibles will be transferred. So that was a big one people wondered about. You will get your collectibles on your main. Will we get access to the Shade Watch? Okay, we already read this. Yeah, you get no expertise, but more shade level power to compensate for that. Why can't my existing 40 character engage in seasonal content? That's a big one people wanted to know about. The main objective of Seasons 2.0 is to ensure that all players can participate in in-game content on a level playing field, as well as allowing us to fine-tune the experience based on more controlled progression. Additionally, modifiers and season resets provide levers to ramp up gameplay challenges far beyond what any permanent mechanics would allow, thus avoiding long-term consequences. But we do the same as now, just start over from 1 to 40 every season. I don't know if we can definitively say that it's that, because they did say this is the content for Seasons 2.0. There's 15 weeks of varied activities such as seasonal missions, projects, scouts, and priority objectives. We don't know what, aside from scouts, we know that's the Manhunt stuff. We don't know what seasonal missions are, or these seasonal projects, or priority objectives. Now, yes, I think for the most part this is going to be taking place on like the existing maps and stuff. But as far as the actual objectives and what the they still haven't talked about, giving us any examples of what these modifiers are either. But here's a PvP section. How will the introduction of seasonal characters affect the PvP? Seasonal characters will only be able to matchmake with other seasonal characters at an appropriate power level, accounting for the level playing field with the seasonal reset brings. So this, someone was commenting on that in my video yesterday or 2 days ago, saying that the Dark Zone is going to be a lot more fun, probably on seasonal, because people aren't coming in with their huge amounts of power. And I agree, that's probably going to feel a lot similar to like early Division 1 and 2 days, with people still getting their arsenal and builds together and all that. So there you go. Well, the modifiers work both in PvE and PvP. They're PvE exclusive. That's not a shock. Will seasonal characters have a separate DZ? Yes, DZ pools are separate between seasonal and non-seasonal. All right. Oh, final section, multiplayer and matchmaking. How will matchmaking change with the introduction of seasonal characters? Seasonal characters will only be able to matchmake with other seasonal characters at an appropriate power level, accounting for the level playing field that each seasonal reset brings. How do you plan to balance seasonal and non-seasonal instances if old gear aligns with a seasonal theme? Oh, hang on. If old gear aligns with a seasonal theme, we may rebalance and revamp it. Any changes that are deemed appropriate will also be applied to non-seasonal gear. Our aim is to maintain a balance between seasonal modifiers and seasonal gear. We encourage players to find powerful builds in each season. So that to me sounds like they are going to lean more into the themes of each season. And if there's like a gear set that kind of lines up with one they had in the past, then they might kind of buff it up for that season, or just rebalance it or revamp it to make it more relevant to play with the modifier. Well, there you go, people. That was a long Q&A, which is good. People had a lot of questions. And I'm trying to think off the top of my head. For the most part, it sounds like they answered most of them. Like I said, people who are completely opposed to the idea of having your main characters more sideline are probably not going to find any reason to like this. That's just the end of the day. But if they're saying, where was that one quote? Was it down here? A lot of people were talking about the story. They say the story will be adjusted to accommodate this new dynamic with multiple agents fulfilling the roles throughout the season. So if there was a lore reason for why we're doing this, then that could potentially put some people at ease for that stuff. Christopher says, but the main characters aren't really sidelined. I mean, I think it's undeniable that we will be playing seasonal characters now more than main characters. If you choose, if you want to lean in to that stuff. But I think the fact that we have this intermission period where it's exclusively main characters, you get all the new items, you get the levels and everything that you earn on your seasonal, then those 2 weeks should, again, pretty much feel like the normal game. So it's a new flow. And obviously, I mean, this is a 2,000, 3,000 word FAQ. There's a lot of changes coming. Like, it's a huge shift for the game, no doubt. It's down to making it easier to produce content. I've seen people say that, but from everything they've said, the new seasonal format will have more things to do than the current season. So I'm not 100% sure if what they've said is backed that up. Again, once we see it, maybe we can determine that. But if they're saying that they're making modifiers every season, they've obviously done a ton of work to create the seasonal realm and have that be balanced. If they're having 15 weeks full of new, again, I don't know what these things are. Seasonal missions, seasonal projects, we know what scouts are, and priority objectives. If the seasons have more to do now than they did before, then I don't think you can say that it's because they're lazy or they're not doing stuff. Like, there's more stuff coming from what they've said. Again, we'll have to see it in practice. But yeah, I'd say that was a solid FAQ. Answered most of the questions I can think of that people were asking. And now it's up to players to decide if they're going to accept it or not. Yeah, no problem, Mr. Nobody. You also do not have to get rid of a mule if you don't want to, because they are adding a 5th slot. So for the first season, at least, you won't have to delete anyone to accommodate it. Where was that? Yeah. With your 6th season 2, you can now have up to 5 characters. If you already have 4, you can utilize it. But then after the first season, you will have to then decide if you want to keep that one, get rid of it, whatever you want to do there. Damn. Well, I'm going to have to then crank out a video once I'm done with this stream to go through that. I was hoping they would release it at like the normal 9 o'clock time, but oh well. I'm going to give it a shot, but seasonal content in PvE is a backburner thing for me in Division. These changes would have to be significant in order for my gameplay loop to change. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if people actually change their regular gameplay style for that. The only thing that sounds rough to me is accumulating crafting mats for rerolls and such. Yeah, although the one... Where did they talk about that? Well, I do think it's great that the recal library transfers. That's an awesome thing. Where was... They talked about how, like, you would be rewarded for doing various things. So I wonder if they're going to, like, have some of these activities grant certain amounts of those things to make it easier, but I don't know. That could certainly be an interesting part of it. Yes, Patrick. Season 2.0 is not coming until around October. So that's next season. They're just answering questions on it now because people had a lot of questions. So there we go. Any last questions on this, people, or should we switch back to the gameplay? Obviously, we can keep talking about it. But that was the Seasons 2.0 FAQ. I'm watching the chat, though, if there was any extra things. Correct. You can still play with your main character as much as you want. And there is an intermission period. I don't know why all of a sudden my scrolling capabilities slowed down. They do have the intermission, which is a 2-period week at the end of the season where main characters are the sole focus. That's all you can play with. Just hoping the seasonal themes are good, for sure. For sure. All right, well, then we'll switch back, but not before shouting out Matt Kane for the 10 gifted memberships, dude. Thank you as always, man. Going to Christopher CD, Dylan, Hobag, nice name, Rules, Charlie, Kevin, and Raven. Oh, no, and Rebecca and Lord. Matt, thank you so much as always, dude. Those 10 people, if you're in here, be sure to give Matt a thank you in the chat. That's very kind and generous of you as always, man. Hello, Fel, what's up? I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Let me switch this back to the game real quick. Oh, it logged me out. No. All right, we're good. Matt, thank you very much, dude. You should do an audiobook in the next div novel. I can barely record a video longer than 20 minutes without my voice cutting out, so that might not go well. But I appreciate it. All right, one sec. I'm loading my game back up because it had signed me out. Okay, we should be good. There we go. I see some people in the chat are still not wowed by the system, and I want to say, from my perspective, that's completely okay. You can 100% say that's not for you, and if you don't want to play the game once it comes out, that's completely up to you. If I'm going to ask people to fairly take my perspective and not throw out personal attacks of what I think about it, then 1000% I can only do the same for you. So totally, if it still doesn't sound like it's something for you, I respect that. I get it. We'll see once it gets here how it plays and if that further changes anyone's minds or what'll happen. Well, that's what we've got for now. Okay, so well, that was an unexpected little detour in the stream here. But there we go. I don't think we got a chess piece I need. Okay, let's do one more countdown run, and then now I'm kind of itching to go make that video, but we'll keep going because we're not at our usual time slot yet. Although now I'm gonna have to make that before lunch. Ugh. What a hard life I've got, right, guys? I'm kidding. Totally kidding. Let me delete that, and then go back to countdown. I want to get that chest. So the build that I was making before, I think someone asked me like 2 hours ago, so sorry about that. This is the build that I'm trying to get a chest piece for. I want to try and get Unbreakable on a Habsburg piece to roll there. Or at least get one that has crit chance and headshot damage so I can choose the talent that's on there. What's the difference between Resurgence and Heartland? I know one got canceled. I just don't know the difference. Brandon, Heartland was going to be a AAA free-to-play spinoff on consoles and PC. That was the one that unfortunately has been canceled. Resurgence is the mobile title that should still be coming, although there's some weird stuff going on there. Maybe I'll do a video on it. Well, I mean, it's just it didn't show up at Ubisoft Forward, which they said it would, so I'm not sure why that happened. But as far as we know, Resurgence is still coming. But that's the mobile title.
Communication relay offline.
Won't all the gear you earn from the season pass between 139 not be used at all? They'd just be wasting it, wouldn't they? Chimp, we don't know. My thought would be as if it's like a gear set and high-end stuff, then maybe you'll just earn level 40 items to use as soon as you get to level 40. So it's kind of like as you go through. It would, in a sense, it would almost be like Destiny 2's like legendary campaign, where once you complete that, it just means that as soon as you get to the end game, you have a build ready to go. And if the new gear aligns with the season theme and the modifiers, then that could be kind of cool because it means as soon as you reach level 40, you like have a build that ties in with that ready to go. And then you can like craft and change stuff from there. That's my thought maybe, but they didn't specify that in the article.
Emergency lockdown protocols activated. 15 minutes lockdown.
CD, any videos coming up soon for the best way to level up from 30 to 40 in DC? I am getting ready to release one just showing off the changes there, the fact that you can now do it in DC. I didn't necessarily focus on like the best way to do it, but I'm happy to include a section talking about what I did. No, I didn't kill him fast enough. I personally did. I did a little bit of Descent, because that's good for XP, and then I did invaded stuff mostly. What's up, Malside? I'm sorry, I never mean to ignore anyone. Sometimes it's tough to track everybody in here. What do you think about doing a hardcore... I totally just was staring at the chat to get axed by that hunter. What do you think about doing a hardcore seasonal character leveling exclusively in the DZ as a challenge? So you're asking me to hate myself and the game? No. I will not say... Wow. That hunter is right there. I will not say no.
An agent needs assistance.
But that sounds painful to me.
System reactivated. Agent down.
The stream is lagging? No, don't tell me there's an audio desync. Don't tell me. Is the audio out of sync?
System malfunctioning.
Okay, people are saying it's good for them.
System back online.
That scared me, because that happened last week, and I hate when that happens, because I literally don't know what causes it. Okay, so maybe, Cameron, maybe just try refreshing your browser or wherever you're watching it from. Dude, I'm getting absolutely bodied by these hunters, and so is our entire team. What is happening? We're gonna have to leave this session. We're not even getting past the hunters.
System reactivated.
This is so bad.
Agent vital signs. 0.
What kind of shade levels we got in here?
An agent has disconnected.
Okay, people are leaving. We're gonna. This is a wipe. This is a wash. That was so tough. Thank you all for letting me know about the stream. Cheryl with the $5.
Entered.
No message, just a freaking. Is the dog punching or is it dancing? I think it's punching. Either way, Cheryl, thank you so much as always for the kindness. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, well, let's try that again. That was awkward. It probably doesn't help that I'm using like a sort of off-meta rifle build. But oh well. Oh, what's up, Limitless? The recruiter outfit, let me show you. It's not in the bundle section, but if you tab over to apparel once you're in here, you go to outfits.
You have joined a group.
It's way down here under store exclusives. It now has its own section right here. I already owned it, so I can't see the price or anything. Excuse me, but it's right there. All right, I think we will do this countdown run. See if we get the chest. Even if we don't, I want to do a quick conflict just to show you guys that build, what I'm thinking with it, and I'll keep working on it over time. And then I'm probably going to dip out and go work on that video because I want to get that done before I kind of move on with the rest of my day.
The True Sons have triggered a lockdown.
So that's
of
the plan.
They've been taking over infrastructure to lend legitimacy to their cause. If they control the power, they control this region.
Were we able to earn that in one of the seasons not too long ago? It came out in season 2 CD, but it was still paid. It wasn't something you could earn via gameplay. So they've just brought it back to the store.
Reactor unstable. Emergency lockdown protocols activated.
All right, these levels are looking slightly more encouraging.
Critical pressure level.
Chris with the 2-month member message, just sharing the hype emoji.
Surge required.
Thank you for being a member, man, and being around. Hype indeed. Thank you, thank you. No problem, Limitless, no problem. Yeah, it is a little hidden in there. It would have been nice if it was like in the bundle section for people to see, but... Oh well.
Immediate medical assistance needed. System back online.
He only wants to shoot me, dude. Shoot someone else. And we've got another... Why do both the hunters keep pushing us? This happened twice in a row now. Ah! Alright, there we go. Ryan becoming a member of Rogue Studios. Thank you so much, dude. Hang on, where am I going? Turbine. There we go. Ryan, thank you very much for joining up, my guy. Welcome, welcome. You now have a cool badge next to your name. You get some emojis to use here in the chat and on the channel. And if you join our Discord server and you link your YouTube account, you'll get access to the thing on there. Thank you so much, my guy.
Another agent is now group leader.
Someone left. It's not good. I have thoughts on the new seasonal characters. At the end of the season, our main character sides with Keener and Kelso. I don't know. The one thing that... the one thing that I'm not sure about is since your main character can still, like... Lore-wise, they can't have us go rogue and then we switch back and just it's all the same. Because there's still going to be that intermission period where you're playing as your main. And you can still play the main on the climax mission. So... where exactly does that... Like, I don't see us going rogue and then when you go back it's just like, you're not rogue? That would be a little weird. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Area secure.
Zero Cool, what up, dude? J Tovin, yes, the recruiter outfit is back in the store. Andrew, have a great one, dude. Thank you for hanging out. I appreciate you. Most people won't go back for the 2-week intermission. Why would they? They'll keep playing the seasonal. They said, DF, that the seasonal, like, that's when the seasonal part ends. That's when they'll be transitioned to main characters. So, the seasonal, like, realm will close for those 2 weeks. It'll all just be back to the main character stuff. JB, what up, dude?
System breach initiated. 10 minutes to log out. Evacuate the facility.
Stabilize cooling system. Pressure system purge required.
Gurneil with the $10, dude. Thank you so much. Sorry, let me just get up here. I hope the lore reason we have to keep making new seasonal characters, how expendable Keener treats his allies, a different cutscene every season of Keener betraying us, leaving us to our deaths. That would be interesting. I'm not sure how Keener's going to fit in, like, long term if we're actually going to start, like, talking to him regularly and doing that. I do think it's good, though, period, for them to have a lore reason why we're doing it, for sure. So I'll be interested to see what it is. But thank you so much, dude, for the dono and the support. I greatly appreciate it. For supporting what I do on here. Thank you, thank you.
Critical systems exposed. Data transfer halted. High risk target detected.
Not going to judge yet, going to play with the new seasonal content and see if it's better than spamming Countdown. Yeah, that is one topic that they didn't really touch on, is if they're going to rebalance any of that stuff for the seasonal thing specifically. I think it would definitely be unfortunate if, you know, all the pressure is put on, or not all the pressure, but all the focus is put on this new seasonal flow and the activities and all that, and then it still ends up being that, like, just playing Countdown is the best way to go. That would be a bit unfortunate to me. So I do hope that they've considered that and might make some adjustments there to the loot distribution. But we'll see. When they say seasonal content, does that mean just the main notes and story beats, or do I have to play seasonal character to progress my battle pass? Get my seasonal rewards like new gear and exotics. CD, from what the FAQ just said,
You're in.
I think it's
I need
that
you
the
to
new
fix that
gear and
cooling
stuff
tower.
will only be available to seasonal characters at first, but then as soon as the intermission period hits, that's when you can transfer that over. So for the first bit, I think at least. I don't know if they explicitly said you can't access the pass on your main, but they implied that the new gear and stuff will just be seasonal up until the intermission period.
Stabilize pressure.
We need to release the pressure in the system. Oh, that worked-ish. Now that the pressure is stabilized, we can shut off that steam.
Destroy the pipe lids. Matt Kane with another $5. Thank you, dude. So if matchmaking is level specific, countdown and conflict will take forever to fill a lobby. I'm not sure what they meant when they said that the matchmaking stuff would filter in like power appropriate things. Obviously, when you're going from 1 to 40, yes, that's probably going to section it off by level. I would assume once you hit level 40, though, everyone will be roughly in the same thing. They might do some like small matchmaking prioritization depending on what your Shade Watch is. But I would think once you reach level 40, it wouldn't be that big of a problem. I guess we'll see. But yeah, I'm not fully sure what they meant by that. But thank you so much for another donation, man. As always, directly supporting what I do on here is incredibly appreciated. So thank you so much. Yeah, no problem, CD. What of our seasonal characters are past agents in the DC area, ones that got killed by hunters? Well, if they got killed, it would be quite a shock that they're back, unless they're pulling the Keener method. But I don't know. I am definitely curious, since they implied that there's a lore reason. I'm curious to see what that'll be. If you were gifted a membership, is there a way to find out who gifted the membership? I believe, Rebecca, I think yours was just gifted by Matt a few minutes ago. I could be wrong, but I'm like 90% sure that's who it was. Otherwise, I don't know if YouTube maybe emails you and says. But I'm pretty sure it was Matt just a few minutes ago that you got yours from. Alright, what's happening? Destroy the pipe lids. I got you, dude. I'll res you. One last pipe lid right here. We can do it.
Great. Now that's under control. You just need to vent the remaining steam, and you should be good to go.
Alright, so we gotta hit this one up here. Do you know if XP watch levels from the season characters will transfer over to main at the end of the season? That's what they said, Flynn. They said that any of the levels and progression you earn will then apply to your main at the end of the season. That's what the FAQ said.
Stabilize the pressure. Now we just need to cut off that steam.
As for all this stuff, though, I do think it's important to say that until we get our hands on it, we should still leave just a tiny bit of skepticism for how things will exactly work, because there's always a chance that we're misinterpreting how things are worded and all that. I'm not saying it just for that specifically, but anything we're talking about here. But yeah. A little confused on seasonal characters when it's when I start. It says do the main camp one, which I pick. So Dwight, seasonal characters are not yet in the game. That's something that they're adding next season in approximately October. So you cannot do it right now.
Nice. The plant's secure. Now let's get you out of there. Move to the extraction point.
Zero Cool, I am. I'm trying out
When you're
this
ready,
Breaking
send
Point
up a
build, the
flare
new
for
gear
Taurus
set
to
with a
pick you up.
Ravenous. I'm probably going to make a video on it and just talk about the gear set in general. But yeah, we're trying it out. They said we'll get a PTS, yes, so we'll have to wait and see for sure. And that's when, you know, during that period, if there is still elements that people have concerns about or whatever, that's 100% of the time when people should voice their opinions on stuff, because that's how we give the direct feedback. I wonder if we'll be marked rogue sometime during the story, like we're doing a mission, then we do something bad to go rogue for something good, then we have to clear our rogue status during, or like in the DZ. Definitely could be. I mean, yeah, if there's a reason for new agents to be coming in and doing stuff, then to me that sounds like either a recruitment phase or, yeah, something, I guess, to do with Rogue and SHD and all that. But we'll see. But I mean, it's not lagging anymore. No worries, Cameron. I'm glad it fixed itself up.
Agent, stay frosty. Hunters incoming.
Oh, we got that hunter kill. No, I was trying to heal before another drone came in.
Agent incapacitated.
Alright, again, I'm just gonna scoop all this up as junk, look through it after. Shoot.
Serious trauma detected.
Getting pushed by a hunter. Gotta get some stopping power out here.
Hostile striker drone detected. System curtailed.
Is this a hunter? Yes, it is.
System restored.
We're going toe to toe right here. Oh, there's only 19 seconds to call this thing in. Hang on, hang on, hang on, hang on. Don't worry, guys, I got you.
System malfunctioning. An agent needs assistance.
Maybe I don't got you. No, I definitely don't.
Immediate
I'll just straight up die if I do that. Maybe. I tried. I picked up all the loot.
Shoot off a flare when you're ready to come home.
No, that was tough.
Without power, people.
It's alright, I got the loot. That's all I needed. Oh, man. What are your thoughts on the Pestilence? I got my first exotic drop with it yesterday. Nice. Well, I can understand its description seemed pretty strong. It's definitely not bad.
You have left the group.
It's got a lot of use in PvP. A lot of people like it in there for the damage over time stuff. But you can make a pretty solid, like, damage spreading thing in, you know, with its talent. So yeah, if you want to build around LMGs, it's definitely strong. Yeah, I feel the same way, Rock. The the spamming is a lot. I've warmed up to Seasons 2.0 as time's gone on. Chewing on the info could possibly be really fun. My main fear is the adoption of the time wasters, from a specific other game. I'm actually not familiar with what you're referring to, Lucius. If you want to elaborate, I would be curious. Is the recruiter outfit a limited skin? They said it's available for a limited time on social media, so it might go away again, Ice. We're not sure. It doesn't have a timer in the store, so it's kind of tough to fully gauge. But their posts set a limited time, so if you want it, I would say don't wait too long because we don't know if it's going to rotate back out again. Do you know anything about any other DLCs coming up besides Brooklyn? Because they say furthermore, upcoming DLCs will present a chance to take on challenges with your primary character. I do not. But I think that is probably, it could be indicative of their future content plans that they talk about there not being an incursion or raid plan, but they talk about DLCs plural. So yeah. All right, let's switch to... Actually, I didn't look at the chess pieces. Nothing. Tough. Yeah, I'm gonna have to farm for that one for a little while. For now, though, let's run that conflict game, and then I'm gonna go work on that video, because I'm itching to get going on it. But this is the build. It's very strong in PvP. And so that's what I want to test out right now, is how much can we get it going? Well, I have been testing it already, but I'll show you guys what it's all about as I'm working on it for the future. Any other rifle you'd recommend instead of the Ravenous on your current build? That's part of the problem, Scythe, is that I've tried making the new set work on a lot of things, because people have been asking me. But the Ravenous is one of the only ones that pairs enough with it to work. I mean, it's not like nothing else doesn't work at all. But I don't know. I mean, I didn't like... we tried all these other exotics, and I didn't like love any of them. You could definitely do... I guess the one that was fine was an M16. We did actually have kind of fun with an M16, which is funny because that gun is traditionally not good. But an M16 with like boomerang was actually solid. I forgot about that, Scythe. I would recommend trying that out. Colleen with a $20 super chat. Love your live streams. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. People are so nice. I see people are talking about concurrent player counts on all platforms. It's definitely far above 1,000. And I'm sure some people are like, of course you're going to say that because you love everything about the game, blah, blah, blah. It's a game like this doesn't get the content it does if it has 1,000 people playing. Steam is not a super accurate one to use, only reason being that it only came out on Steam at the start of last year. So anyone playing on Steam has either picked up the game since then, or they've migrated from the existing things. But the largest PC populations are going to be either on Epic or directly through UB Connect, because that is where it was for the first, 4 years of the game being out. And so, I mean, if I had to guess, like, across all platforms, monthly users, it's tough. Because, yes, in the end game, sometimes it feels small. But, like, for example, I was making a new character recently to make a video on the one endgame thing. All of those safe houses are packed with people who aren't even level 40. And sometimes you'll go to Haven, you'll see people who are like, shade level 20, 40, like, there's a lot. I would say it's somewhere between 20 and 50,000 per month on all platforms. That would be my honest guess.
Hostile explosive seeker mine detected.
Oh, goodness.
Hostile stinger hive detected. Hostile defender drone detected.
Taken out by skills right away.
Hostile hive detected.
I can share something on X. Yeah, Frank, if you want to DM me, always open. If you're talking about the player count stuff, certainly. What's happening right now? Do they push them back to spawn? Uh, 100% Frank. Anything that people send me, if that's their wish is to not have it shared, then I respect that. What is happening right now? I'm so confused. Are they up there? How did that miss? How did that miss? Okay, well, I should have prefaced, I'm still learning the aiming with this. Aiming without a scope can be tough. There we go, we got a headshot, we one-shot him. There we go, we one-shot him. Oh, I made up for it. I made up for it with that double. I made up for it right there. Tell me that wasn't clean. So that's the benefit of this build, is that the base stats are so strong that it can one-shot the majority of builds.
Boost now active.
Thank you, CD. Huge
Hostile
play.
defender drone detected.
Absolutely massive.
Hostile hive detected. The
Shoot.
is acquiring the boost. Hostile explosive seeker
Yeah, you just
mine
have to be very
detected.
careful with your plays. That's the basic.
The boost has been taken by the
That's
enemy.
what it comes down to.
Agent down.
Oh god, they haven't seen me yet. As long as I don't hit them, they don't know I'm there. Eric with the $20 as well. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much, man. People are just on a freaking roll today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That is very generous of you all. No scope headshots? You know how I do. No, it's just that because the scoping like culture in this is so ingrained, because you have to scope in if you're using a high magnification. I wanted to try the non-scoped because then you at least have there's a bit more flexibility in how you do it. All right, I could pull our team out of a spawn camp here. That's 2 down. I missed. Took his unbreakable. Oh! Ah! I missed twice.
Serious trauma.
That's so awkward, and that's the trouble. Is I really need to practice and get that aim down. But the potential's there. Eric, if my hardcore agent unlocks the descent blueprint and dies, will the next hardcore agent have access to them, or do I have to unlock them all over again in descent?
Specialization supply drop has been arranged.
100% honest with you, Eric, I'm not sure. I do not play hardcore myself, so I don't have any first-hand experience there. My gut wants to say that once you unlock blueprints, those are shared account-wide. But I'm not 100% sure on that. If anyone else has tried that themselves in here and can comment, I would appreciate it. There we go. That was a 3-piece. That was a 3-piece.
An agent needs assistance.
There we go. There we frickin' go. That's what I'm frickin' talking about right there.
The supply drop.
No, you're totally good, Eric. That's a completely valid question. Yeah, my gut would say yes, but I do not know for certain. Yeah, Jay Bernie, I'll show it after this. I'm still working on it. Eventually, once I tune it up, I do plan to make a build video. But this one is still very new. How many kills do I have? 8 kills. Oh my goodness. Softcore agent has them unlocked, but I wonder about my hardcore. Yeah, I would think that it goes by character type progression. Like if you unlock it on a hardcore, then it would stay on a hardcore. I think. How did that miss? Well, I just wasted my spec shots. That's all right. I'm not clutching up right now, to be honest. Is this guy about to push from right here? Yeah, up close combat is not this build's strength whatsoever.
Agent out of action. Agent
I
killed.
gotta try my headshot M700 hardwired build. I haven't seen it, Cal. Do you have it up on the channel? Yeah, Chris, we were going through it a bit before, and as soon as I end the stream, I'm gonna go and work on a video talking about it for sure. Do you have an iron lung build for conflict? I do, Victor. I can link it for you as soon as this is done.
Defender drone detected.
I have to steal this. Oh, that's what I'm here for, Wolf.
Detected.
I'll put out the templates. Y'all take it and do your thing with it. Oh my god, I didn't think there'd be people down there. What were they doing? They were just chilling. That actually kind of scared me.
Agent down.
The rogues have run out of reinforcements. You can win this.
Oh, what are they... What are they freaking doing down here?
Immediate
Tough.
medical assistance needed.
What are they doing in that darn hallway?
Agent vital signs 0.
But yeah, Victor, I'll link it as soon as this is over. It's a Umbra build.
The boost is being taken by the enemy.
Where's this last guy? So jealous of sniper people. I don't have the aim to play. And you know, like that's at the end of the day, everyone's got their own strengths and weaknesses as a player. I feel like I don't really have what it takes to be a really good and efficient skill user. I'm not too good with that stuff. But yeah, also one of the reasons I wanted to make this was because back in Division 1 I used to snipe a lot, like without the scope. So this kind of reminds me of that. So I'm trying to get back into it. All right, let me pull up. Umbra. So yeah, I show 3 loadouts in this video, but there's only one I think that has the iron lung, and that's the one you'd want. So there you go, Victor. The link is in the chat for that build video. Okay, and with 10 kills, I'll take that. I still need to get that bear chest piece. We'll back out, I'll show you the build, and then I'm signing off. I'm sorry if it's a bit of a shorter stream, but I want to go make that video. You all know me, I'm usually pretty quick with the news, so I'll be a little bit behind, but that's fine. We covered it on here. This is the build. So Ninja Bike, 2 Hot Shot, because you get those insane bonuses right there. 2 piece of the new Breaking Point, because you get also pretty insane bonuses there. And then 1 Habsburg for the marksman damage and headshot. And then I want to get, the rolls are not good. I want to get crit chance and headshot damage on there. And then either run Glass Cannon or Unbreakable with like a blue or 2. That's the thought. All right, folks. I just get kicked out of my menu. Am I going to play the first Descendant? No plans right now, honestly. I don't know. Maybe I'll try it at some point, but no huge plans. All right. Thank you all so much for tuning into the stream. That was actually pretty fun to go through the Q&A thing live together. Get everyone's thoughts on it. That was fun. But as usual, another great weekly stream. Thank you so much to everybody who gifted, who donated. As always, that is incredibly generous of you. I sincerely appreciate the support and the generosity. Yeah, I'm going to go make a video on that seasonal character Q&A right now. Even though you've already seen the info, as always, if you want to click on the video and just leave a like or leave a comment, as always, I'd appreciate it. But you do you. I got that coming up. And then we got more videos coming throughout the rest of the week. Working on one for the one endgame thing. I'll do a video for the Ravenous thing. And obviously more stuff. Next Tuesday, we'll be live with the new apparel event. That'll be fun to go through. And yeah, plenty of stuff in the meantime. So thank you all so much, as always. I appreciate you. The sad part, I know. Notorious SGDF, Chimp, Kill Nerf Peter, Wolf CD, Matt, Hermes, Darkest, Leonardo, Zero Cool, Frank, Thalen, Cal, Lucius, Victor, Eric, all of you who are in here, you know who you are. Thank you so much. And as I said, you will, I'll see you very soon, and you'll see me very soon. Same thing. Both ways. Ryan as well. Thanks for becoming a member. Yeah. See you all. That's the wrong screen. Awkward. Hang on.